the top 10 health killers. World statistics shows that 54% of the population is facing deadly consequences from these diseases. The reason why people are suffering from chronic diseases is because diseases are becoming harder to be treated with radical treatment, and it can only be alleviated or controlled with medication. People starts to pay attention to eating habits, daily exercise, and consumed various health products when they face such diseases. Most of the time, it's already too late, especially in environments that are unhealthy and polluted. When patients are suffering from these diseases, it inflicts tremendous stress, pain, and sufferings on their families or siblings, saying, therefore, we must search for the best alternative solutions to resume a normal and healthy life. All efforts should be focused on the most basic issue of a human body, cells. The core cause of most diseases is linked to cell deficiencies. Collapse of body function is caused by a weak immune system, clogged blood vessels, damaged and mutated cells, and etc. All of these are the root of serious diseases. Presenting i-TeraCare therapy device, a product to the new era in health wellness. The i-TeraCare Tera Hertz wave frequency is found between far infrared and microwave, with a wavelength between 30 and 3,000 microns, which is the same wavelength absorbed by human cells. When cells are irradiated by TeraHertz frequency, it rapidly enhances energy into the human and activate inert cells. Its radiant energy is only 1/4 of sunlight and 1,000th of a mobile phone frequency. Research shows that it is completely safe for the human body absorption. The penetration of the TeraHertz frequency is able to reach 20 to 30 centimeters under the skin, internal organs, and bone marrow, constantly unclogging and cleansing the blood vessels and lymph in the body. Thus, simultaneously improves microcirculation, reduces coldness, reducing tumor, skin nourishment, repairs unhealthy, damaged tissues, remove necrosis, healing of internal organs, and further strengthening the cells. The principal treatment of i-TeraCare is to unclog capillaries to enhance the body and cells to function healthily. i-TeraCare therapy device integrates 3 top technologies: TeraHertz, quantum, and optical quartzes. The crystal energy tube is its core component, is casted together with more than 100 trace elements. i-TeraCare device certification is stringent tested, inspected and certified by China Beijing Academy of Science and National Intellectual Property Right and Patent Certification and other authoritative organizations related to the device. The i-TeraCare therapy device intelligently identify healthy and bad cells. Good cells will pass through the device's consistent frequency and temperature, and bad cells will be liquefied by the heat, which will be expelled from the body through sweat, urinary, and defecation. With preventative and protective functions against human diseases, i-TeraCare therapy device is a very effective treatment for 3 major sub-health problems: inflammations, skin disorders, and clogging. The 10 major advantages of the i-TeraCare therapy device. Number 1, the 8 extraordinary vessels of the body. Number 2, pass through the 12 main channels of the body. Number 3, scrape the toxic and harmful substances from the body. Number 4, remove superfluous things that are not part of the body. Number 5, find potential diseases using a scanning function. Number 6, unclog channels and stasis in the body. Number 7, detoxification. Number 8, regulate internal organs and immunity system. Number 9, replenish the body with yang aura energy. Number 10, repairs damaged cells and tissues. Price International has a strong, positive, and experienced management team that is focused and committed to promote and educate TeraHertz technology therapy worldwide. Price International has an impressive development foundation and a 10-year comprehensive market development blueprint. With the rapid demands in the health industry worldwide, TeraHertz technology and its products will be of value and recognized by more people and supported by reputable health institutions. Price International is motivated to bring health and wellness to more people worldwide by improving their health awareness, knowledge, and protection against diseases. Restore your precious health with i-TeraCare therapy device. Live wealthy, with health. Let us create the true wonders of TeraHertz in life together. Achieve the prime of your life.
Good morning to our friends from the Philippines and Southeast Asia, and also a very good evening to our friends from the United States of America and also South America. My name is Sam. Welcome everyone to today's iTeraCare sharing, the revolutionary device in wellness industry. As well known, health is the utmost important issue for all of us. So I hope through this session of sharing today can lead everyone to know more about how iTeraCare is going to assist us to have better health. And our speaker for today is all the way from Malaysia. He has a background of physical education, sports science, health, and also wellness. Please welcome i-Tera Product Advisor, Mr. Soma Sundram.
Thank you, Mr. Sam. Good morning to you. Good day to every member here, and welcome again to another sharing of i-Tera. And I hope, especially to the new members who have just recently got on board, this session will help you to understand better as to what this device can do to you. Right, first of all, let's look at some disclaimers. The information and instructions provided in the presentation are for general information purposes only. They are not intended to be substitutes for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment, to replace medical advice offered by professional physicians. So the words heal and cure are especially reserved for medical practitioners, and here we prefer to use eliminate, recover, and we are focusing on healing the body, right? So recovering from whatever symptoms you have. So I am Soma from Malaysia, and this is the logo which you will see on each and every product of i-Tera. So if you see this logo on your product, then you have bought the right device. So now this is how the product looks like, and this is the i-Tera Classic. There are actually two devices. We shall look at i-Tera Classic first, and let's see what people have got to say about the i-Tera device. Now, first of all, they say it's easy to use. You do not have to be a pro, or you have special abilities to be able to use this device. And they also say so effective for me. People have been suffering for some time and tried various methods, and suddenly they find that it's becoming effective for them. And we shall look at why this may be so. And they're also saying they like the color of the device. There's only one color throughout the world. And if you've got some other colors, then definitely it's not i-Tera. And I use it every day. People are actually using it every day with a lot of benefits. And please, if you have this device, please use them every day. Wonderful, fantastic, super. It's a miracle. Actually, there's science behind the miracle, and it saved me. Many people were on the verge of expensive treatment and even operations. So when they started using this, they found that they didn't have to go through invasive treatment. And last but not least, they say thank you to the person who had introduced this device to them, because now they have they are already feeling the benefits. This device has gone all over the world now, more than 23, at last count, 25 countries. And lots of people are now coming to know more about the device and learn how to use them properly, right? In Africa and in families and households, it's being used by each member, young and old, and even in the East and in remote treatment centers It is being used as a first line of treatment, right? So Albert Einstein had mentioned long before that the future of medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. And now you have the medicine of future presently in your hands, medicine of frequencies. Basically, that's what it's doing, and it's helping people. Now, there are two devices, as I mentioned earlier. One is the i-Tera Pro, which is much bigger and more robust, and mostly used in business centers, and the i-Tera Classic, which is mostly used by individuals, households, and is also almost equally effective. All right, I would say it's equally effective. And the main differences between them is that the i-Tera Pro is mostly used in business centers because you can use them for long hours, many hours, whereas i-Tera Classic, normally it will go up to about 60 minutes continuously, and then if it's too hot, there's a cut-off switch which cuts it off, and once it's cooled down, you can reuse again. And basically, the i-Tera Pro is more expensive and more powerful. All right, so these are the major differences. Now, this device is actually certified and patented by the Chinese Academy of Science and Sinochem. It's already well known in China and used in many parts of China, Hong Kong, Taiwan. And now it's coming out throughout the world. Now, this device can also be used on all persons, including infants, without any contraindications. People always ask, where does this device come from? And when you mention it's from China, then they say, oh, can I trust this device? Now, people fail to realize that China can provide you even the best of equipment if you need them. If you need something which is cheap, of course, they give you something which is cheap, and you do not expect it to last. But this device comes from the best, and it should last you if you handle it with care. And people also ask, what is TeraHertz energy? Now, this TeraHertz energy is on the electromagnetic spectrum between the microwaves and infrared. There used to be a terahertz gap here that people really didn't know what was here. But recently, especially in the last 2 decades, people it has a specific place and people are coming to know more about it. Now, before this, a lot of it was used in airports for scanning. They found that it's working much better than X-rays. And now it has been experimented and being used in electroscopy, imaging, and now with health. Now, more and more people are finding out that it is helping them with their health. Now, these waves of terahertz energy actually flow into and are emitted by the human body, right? The frequency is extremely strong in human babies, healthy young people, and animals. And during the full moon, it releases a large amount of terahertz. If you walk under the full moon, lots of people will tell you that they feel so serene and energized. Okay, and this could be a reason. And it's also abundant in the universe, right? It has a frequency of 10 to the power of 12 on the electromagnetic spectrum. It corresponds to frequencies found in our bodies. Now, this is an important point because this is one of the reasons why it is working very well with you. It's also harmless but powerful, and it's also called the radiation of life, wave of life. People have been using it before without realizing it in the form of ornaments, chains, bands, and the like. And the frequency range is 100 gigahertz to 10 terahertz with wavelengths of 3 millimeters to 30 micrometers. And it was known also as far infrared or sub-millimeter waves before. You can see it is between the microwaves and the infrared waves. So it was sort of like extending into those areas. But now we have a specific name, terahertz energy. Now it's non-ionizing. It penetrates clothing, paper, cardboard, and plastics, which is also very helpful actually. It's absorbed by water, which is another factor which works very well in our body, and is absorbed by many organic substances. And people have found uses for this as well. Now, the first thing is people ask is this terahertz radiation safe? First of all, it is non-ionizing, as I mentioned earlier. What happens is it doesn't steal the electrons from the atoms and the molecules of the tissues in the body. All right? So you do not form more free radicals. And secondly, it is considered to be safe for humans at low frequencies. And this device gives you terahertz at low frequencies. Now, some of you might have read somewhere that terahertz frequencies can be detrimental to health. If you look further, deeper into whatever you've been reading, you will find that they're using high frequencies for experimentation, and it could be detrimental to health. But at low frequencies, almost all studies are showing that they are helping with health. Right? Now, terahertz waves are also strongly absorbed by water molecules, which limits their penetration into tissues under normal conditions. Now, we shall see why this happens. First of all, let's look at our skin. Basically, there are three main areas. The first one is the epidermis, the second one is the dermis, and the third one is the hypodermis. And in the hypodermis, we find lots of blood vessels and water, right? So if you look at it again, normally the ultraviolet rays, they go as far as the epidermis. The far infrared goes a little bit further to the dermis, and the terahertz waves goes a little bit further to the hypodermis or subcutaneous level. And basically at normal conditions, they are stopped by the water and over there. Now looking at it again, this will be the thickness, general thickness of most human beings. And when you look at it in total, it's about 3.1 to 6.3 millimeters. Now, under normal conditions, the penetration of normal terahertz waves is 0.1 to 0.3 millimeters. And that is why you don't actually feel the benefits of terahertz waves. But upon using this i-TeraCare device, i-TeraCare Classic, i-TeraCare Pro, what happens is these waves go a long way in, up to 20 to 30 centimeters into the body. And this is why they suddenly become very effective. As you can see, the normal waves have been there throughout. They did not create anything bad for you, but it's just that when they go deeper, they're doing a lot of good, right? So now let's look at the related mechanism as to why this happens. First of all, let's look at the clusters of water. Now, when we say clusters of water, what we are saying is the water molecule, H2O, they tend to cluster together. And when they cluster together, for some reason they cluster together, the size becomes important because our cells, they have a water channel which controls the size of the water which goes in. Now, if the water cluster is generally more than 4 molecules in size, they find it difficult to go into the cells. And anything less, definitely it's going to be easy. And research has shown that generally the water out there which you are drinking is basically in clusters, and many are in big clusters. And one of the reasons why people get dehydrated is because not all the water that you drink is actually going into your cells. So the major part of it is actually being wasted by not getting into the cells. So this is why, in spite of drinking lots of water, the cells are still not fully hydrated. And they also found that it is doesn't have energy. The water which you drink doesn't have the energy which the cells of the body greatly require. Right? They really require the energy. The food which we eat now, the water which we drink, it doesn't have the energy which the cells require. So what happens is, the first thing is, the cells are not receiving as much water as they should. They're not receiving the energy they should, and they cannot perform what they're supposed to do. They do not function optimally. And when this happens, then the diseases start creeping in. And over a period of time, they gather and the symptoms start showing up. Now, what happens is, when you start the i-TeraCare device, they break the clusters up. They become linear, and they find that it's easier to going into the cells. About 90% and above start going into the cells. This greatly hydrates the cells to its optimum, and they bring in the energy. The terahertz energy, as we saw earlier, corresponds to the energy in the cells. So this energy starts going together with the water molecules into the cells. And now suddenly you see that your cells in your body, they receive what they require, and they start working optimally. They function fully. And you find that now slowly, when they start function optimally, the diseases start, they have no place there, because now the cells are functioning fully. And that is one of the reasons why people are finding lots of relief. Now, another aspect which we discussed earlier was non-ionizing. It doesn't steal the electrons from the atoms or the molecules of the tissues in the body. It's non-invasive. You do not have to cut open any part of you to use this device. There's no contact at all. You just blow onto your body. It's localized. You can use it where you have a problem, or you can use it generally. All right? It depends on what you're looking for. So you have pain in a certain area, use it in those areas. It's specialized in the sense that it is supposed to be used for blowing. Use it as blowing. Now, why I'm saying this is, people have also looked at supplementation and other methods where you have to ingest and you have to take it on a monthly basis, daily basis. Okay, so now this one is specialized in the sense that you blow into areas where you have a problem. Now, your present health condition also plays a big part. Those people who have got chronic health problems, you have to understand that you have been collecting things over the years in your cells, in your organs, and it will take a little bit of time for it to come out, and lots have to come out. So you have to bear with that condition and be patient, right? And for those, especially who have lungs, problems with their lungs, especially, please advise those people who are recommending this device to start slowly, because when there is some recovery at the lungs, what happens is the lungs release fluids. This is a reaction by the lungs. And if you treat too fast, too much in the earlier stages, there's lots of fluids which are going to be released, and people might find suffocation. All right? So start slowly, especially when it comes to the lungs. It's actually helping you, but too much, too fast may not be too good. So start slowly, maybe 5 minutes each time, and from there progress to about 20 minutes minimum. All right. So now, if you take a drop of blood and you look at it under the microscope, this is what you might see. You might see that the cells are generally dehydrated. They don't have much water inside, and then they do not have the energy which is supposed to be there, and they tend to cluster together. Now, this is actually what happens in your blood. Now, look at this cell here. Now, this is one of the cells which has got a little bit more water getting into that cell for some reason, and is a little bit more energized, and it's separated itself from the other clusters, right? So this is before. Now, most people don't realize that this is exactly what's happening to them. And when you start using this device and you start drinking the water which is charged, and after 20 minutes, people are generally looking at this. And you take another drop from the same person, now you're finding that now the cells are being hydrated, they have the energy, they get separated, and now they start functioning better. They are functioning optimally, right? So now this is what's happening. Now, how does it help us? It helps us to reduce pain, including headaches and joint pain. And even people with migraine have found that it's helping them tremendously. As an alternative treatment for a variety of diseases like dermatitis, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, gastrointestinal disorders, pain relief, and wound healing, right? People often ask, are you serious? Yes, it's been happening, and we've got lots of testimonies where it has been helping people around the world. It also helps to improve blood circulation, especially when it comes to viscosity. It reduces the viscosity of blood by about 680 times. So people who have been living on aspirins, warfarins, as blood thinners are finding that it's helping them. And it's also said to help to dissolve the lipolipids in your blood. Now, it also helps to improve the lymphatic system performance. Now, the lymphatic system is the system by which the body excretes waste and toxins. Now, if this system doesn't perform optimally, then you do not have a way where it is clearing properly, and you start getting diseases related to the waste and toxins which cannot be eliminated. So when you start improving the lymphatic system performance, you find that diseases related to this start clearing up. And according to traditional Chinese medicine, there's something called qi, an energy force on your body, and that force needs to be maintained. So it also helps to clear the meridian and chakra points. It also helps reduce the toxic side effects of chemotherapy and radiotherapy in cancer patients. Most of them come back feeling nauseated, feel like vomiting, and you feel really like you do not have energy. And many of them also start seeing their hair thinning. So those who have been using this TeraHertz energy are finding that it has helped to reduce the toxic side effects. It also helps in the modulation of the immune system. Now, the immune system is a very important part of the body, which people generally don't give importance to. If you can actually boost your immune system, half your problem is solved. Most of the diseases that you have will not be there. And especially presently in the middle of an endemic where with the COVID-19, and one of the things, the treatments which is used primarily if you're quarantined is to boost your immune system, and that will help your recovery. Now, what we are finding is those people who have got good immune system, high immune system, right? What you call it, it's functioning very well, are mostly finding themselves negative upon testing, in spite of being in close contact with the positive cases. All right, so it's definitely helping, and I am one of those. 2 weeks ago, I was in close contact with someone close who was positive, and just to let you know, that person was not drinking or using this energy. And after 2 days, this person tells you that I was diagnosed as positive, and we had to go to the hospital and did a self-check. And even after 1 week, 7 days, we were negative. And this has These results have been repeated over and over among my children, where they have been in close contact with their co-workers over and over again, at least 3 to 4 times, and they have been found to be negative to this day. So I definitely will tell you that it helps with the immune system, and it's good to keep your immune system high, not only for COVID-19, but generally for most of the problems you face. Now, another factor is people who have been drinking this water and using this device, if you ask them when is the last time that they have ever gone to the doctor because of flu or fever, they will be scratching their head, and you will find that it comes where they will tell you, yeah, now I remember, it was before I started using this device and drinking the water. Because after that, you would have pushed your immune system way high. All right? So please use it because it's going to help your immune system. It also helps in the stimulation of the nervous system. Now, the people, especially those who are diabetics, find that they start getting neuropathy, and it affects their nervous system. And they have lots of pain in their legs, especially. So this is starting to help them. Many with neuropathy have found that they have found relief by using this device. Now, there are certain suggestions or recommendations for your best results. You can focus on specific skin areas for about 15 to 20 minutes daily. And why I say this, and please advise the people who you recommend this device to use for a minimum of at least 15 to 20 minutes on a particular area, a small area where they have a problem, for them to see some good results. Because what's happening is, like yesterday I was with someone, or rather this person called me, a person who I have not met, and he called up to tell me that I've been using this device, but I did not see any improvements. So upon asking him, I asked him, what did the person who recommended this device tell you about using this device? He said, use it for 15 minutes for your whole body. So 15 minutes for the whole body is definitely not enough. It hardly awakes the muscle cells, right? So you use it on one area for about 15 to 20 minutes. 20 minutes will be a good amount of time, and you will see the results better. So I had to tell him that whatever your problem, he told me what his problem was, and then use it on those areas, certain areas, for this amount of time, and then tell me what happens. And now I will get to hear from him after about a week, and I'm definitely sure that things will be better for him. And we also suggest treatment for 5 up to 15 days, because when you use once, you have some relief, but it's not the end of it. Now, something which you have collected over the years is not going to go off in just one day or one treatment. But when you use it for 5 up to 15 times or days, now you start more permanent relief from that problem. You're getting rid of more of whatever was there, and things are definitely going to get better. And it should not cause any tissue heating and associated damage if you move the blower around. Now, people generally know that, or should know that, and the person who recommended this device should inform the person who is receiving it that the blower should be moving around and not focus on one spot, right? So externally, the treatment of skin areas at the site of injury, the case of surface wounds and skin diseases, which means that using it on wherever you have a problem and you have pains, especially joints, we can focus it on that. Internally, you're focusing on a number of anatomic, acupuncture, or reflexology points. And upon blowing, terahertz energy is mainly absorbed through the human skin, which is made up of 70 to 80% of water, and things start happening. The cells are now able to function better. And because of this, hydration is important. You should keep your cells hydrated, body hydrated, before commencing treatment for better results. and keep them hydrated throughout the day with charged water. Now drink a glass or two of water before you start treatment and another glass or two after treatment to get rid of whatever waste or toxins which are coming out, right? And you might find some signs during the treatment. You might find some pain, burning or tingling sensation which may be felt on the affected or problem areas. Now, traditional Chinese medicine suggests that where you feel pain, there is probably a blockage in that area and vice versa, right? Now, this is one condition, one among the thousands and thousands throughout the world where he had a problem, because as I said earlier, do not focus on just one area, but move it around. Now, this person has got diabetes, and this area is it's numb, and the person who recommended this device didn't tell him that he has to move it around. So he has been focusing on one area, and because of his numbness, he didn't feel the heat, and he had this problem. All right, it should go away, but we don't want this to happen to your friends, especially your loved ones. So please tell them to move the device around. Now, this device is very easy to operate. You do not need any professional skills or any knowledge which is needed. We just blow on the affected area. The only time when you need to be more specific is when you want to relate to certain diseases or conditions where you can just follow some simple guidelines. And I request, please do not drop it, shake it, don't allow water to get in, and after using, let it cool before storing, all right? When it's still hot, do not store, okay? Now, there are more simple guidelines. The first one is, it follows some traditional Chinese medicine treatment points. You can use that as your guideline for treatment, and focuses a lot on the meridian and chakra points, okay? Otherwise, you can just blow onto wherever you have a problem. And the speed at which results can be seen depends on your body and health condition. As I said, if you're more chronic, then it takes a little bit longer to see better results, and it'll clear more, right? It'll clear more in the initial stages. And the frequency of use is also important. Generally, people are using it once a day. But people with more chronic problems who have been suffering are even using up to 3 times in one day, right? And if you're using it more than once in a day, give a space of about 4 hours in between. Let the body recover, all right? And it encourages natural healing. Now, why is this so? Now, what's happening is the TeraHertz energy doesn't heal you. What it does is it creates a condition in your body where now the body is getting what it requires to do healing. Now, your body is a beautiful machine, all right? There's no other machine till today which can compete with our body. It is always looking for something where it can heal itself. And the reason why you're getting your diseases is partly because it is not able to get what it requires to heal itself. So now what happens is, as I explained earlier, at the very basis of it is water. Now, if you have a pot of plant, you're giving it the best fertilizer in the world. And that's about it. You're giving it the best fertilizer and looking after it. You're giving lots of care, but you're not giving enough water. The plant is definitely not going to bloom well. Now, when you give it good water, you make sure that the water is there. Even if the fertilizer is not there, then you will see the plant bloom. All right? Similarly, human beings, at the very basis of everything, in spite of the best supplementation, if you do not have water which can be taken into your cells, then the body cannot do what it does best. So now what's happening is, this i-Tera energy helps the body with that, right? It takes the water into the cells, hydrates them optimally, and gives them the energy which they need, right? and then everything starts happening. And in natural healing, expect what is called as a healing crisis, right? Now, a healing crisis is a temporary worsening of symptoms after beginning a treatment, especially in alternative medicine. And you may also see it called an aggravation, a detox reaction, or a cleansing reaction. And in a healing crisis, symptoms briefly worsen before beginning to improve, right? People get really scared, especially if the condition is more chronic. I have a person where she had bought a device off the internet for around 250 USD, and something where it's supposed to heat the legs, and she left it on without knowing exactly what was happening, and it sort of like cooked both her legs because the amount of heat, she was diabetic, and certain amount of numbness. So after that, then things started getting bad for her, and somebody recommended this iTeraCare device. Now with the device, now what's happening is the skin is starting to fall off. You can see it raw, right? And it's white in color. Initially it was white in color, and now it's slowly turning to red. And then now the top skin is now forming a crust, and when she is using it day by day, and things are slowly getting better. So initially she got very scared because blood was beginning to come out from many places. The skin was initially there was some smell there, bacterial infection because it was open, and initially she thought that it's all because of the device. But what it was happening was, when she was using the device, this is the healing crisis she was going through, and when she understood it, now she's getting better. All right. So this kind of things are happening, and when you use this, you must understand what happens, and please inform those people who are new to this, whom you're recommending to, that this will happen, and to bear with it. All right. And let's look at some treatment points. Now, generally, as I said, you should be blowing them in circles, vertical lines, horizontal lines, whichever pleases you, and not just focus on one point. And this is these are the treatment points for conditions like eczema, vitiligo, and the group, even psoriasis and all that, right? So you can get this chart from the person who recommended you here. I'm sure they'll be pleased to provide you if you have certain conditions, not only for this chart, but the following charts. Now, this is another treatment area for this group of problems, especially related to the eyes. Now, we normally recommend for those who are wearing contact lenses, and after cataract, you'll be having lenses, to avoid using this, because we do not want to have issues. Yes, there are people who have been using it with the lenses on, and it has worked for them, but we do not really know what kind of lenses you're using and what it can do and what it cannot do. So generally we tell them avoid, so that you do not risk running into issues. Now, this is for this group of problems. And again, for this problem, you can see here flu, cough, especially blowing on your throat, is helping them. And this is for this group of conditions, hypertension and to do with the heart. And this is more for the bones and the joints. And you can also use it for beauty. People have been using it for beauty. Use the low speed, which is in the middle. And even rounded faces, we are finding that it's becoming V-shaped. And the lines, the creases are slowly going off quite fast. And please use them if you want your skin to look better. And this is that it has got deep penetration, as we saw earlier, 20 to 30 centimeters deep. Now, there are other methods where people have been seeking before this. They go for a massage, they go for acupuncture, they go for gua sha treatment. Now, they are all good in their own way. They are definitely good. But what separates i-TeraCare from them is that the i-TeraCare device gives you deep penetration, affecting those tissues which are deep inside, right? They all will get the benefits, and you will see it working for you, right? Even with people with back pains, they're finding that it is helping them, right? So now, if you do not know how to blow, many people want to know, okay, how can I use it to blow? You can get these charts from the person who recommended you. Now, this is for general blowing or maintenance, where you can blow on these spots. And if you want to go a little bit more specific, where you have certain conditions, right? For example, here you have these heart conditions and asthma. So you're looking at these areas where you would like to point to, right? And they are supposed to help with your organs which are related to them. And people are also using the reflexology points on their soles and also on their palms, where it is helping them tremendously. And also, if you notice, the soles and the palms contain links to all the organs in the body, besides being the point where it's a release of qi. In traditional Chinese medicine, you have qi. So blowing 5 minutes for each sole and palm is also going to help you with the qi being released and flowing smoothly, right? So this is one something which you can do. And if you really do not know where the points are, and you want to focus on specific organs, and look at an anatomical chart and blow from the front or wherever it's supposed to towards those organs, and also you will find some relief, right? And another important thing is you must know a little bit about what problem you're facing. Now, for example, this is an example, sciatica. Now, many people, when they have sciatica, they have pain all along below the waist, right to the bottom. And of course, it's going to be painful. And they start seeking treatment for this area. But if you look deeper, the problem does not originate from anywhere around here. It is originating from here, right, at your backbone. Now, what's happening is, you see here, the bulging disc is impinging on the nerve. All right, you can see it again here. It is impinging on the nerve. We call it herniated disc. It's impinging, and this puts stress on the nerves, and then you have the pain radiating all along. Now, I had this person who had sciatica, who said that it is not effective for him, it is not working for him, and it's not, I mean, it doesn't work for him. And I asked him, okay, where are you blowing? And he said, I've been blowing at the back of my thighs, at the back of my calves, wherever I have pain. So I said, did you ever consider where your problem originates? He said, no, I've been blowing on the areas where I have pain. So I said, when you have sciatica, the problem originates from behind your, I think it's L4, L5. So did you ever do that? He said, no, nobody told me about it. So then I said, okay, try again, see what happens, and please do let me know. Unfortunately, he has not got back to me, and I think it's okay. So otherwise, we have called to say it's not working. And again, the problem of sciatica, if you look at it, it's impinging on the nerves, and the problem radiates all along. So similarly, look at what problem you have, look at where it should be originating, focus on that area, and you are definitely going to find relief. And then we come to the heart. Many people have got heart conditions. Part of the problem is not getting enough oxygen, and i-TeraHertz is definitely going to help you with that. And besides that, people they have blocks. If you have stents and implants, now we tell you to avoid using this because we do not know what kind of stents or implants you're using, whether it will work for you positively or negatively, and we do not want to run into issues where you get worse. So generally, we are telling people to avoid, although there are people who are using in spite of having stents. All right? Okay. Now, because there are too many kinds of stents out there and you do not know how they perform. Now, other than that, for those people with heart conditions, do ask your doctor what is your problem exactly, where your problem is. Try to focus on those areas and you should be finding relief, because many of them have. And if you really do not know where to blow, just pick the device up and blow on those areas where you have a problem. Okay, this person, Mr. Azizi, when he first came, he had numbness on his hands, right? Especially his hand here. On the other hand, right hand. And what he did was he just picked it up and started blowing. Now he claims that the numbness is no more there. And he also uses for his legs. By the way, Mr. Azizi is 73 this year, and he likes to take a walk around his housing area in the evenings. And he told me that now his neighbors have commented that he's walking much faster than before. And he also uses for his eyes. Okay, when he first came, he had problems reading the time of the wall clock and driving at night. But today, he said he can say the time from the wall clock, and he's also driving at night, right? So actually, we are very happy for him. Now, it is being used widely around the world. You see, around the world, people are seeking treatment for various problems, and it has become the initial treatment for most of the other treatment because it's helping people, right? And there are many testimonies as well. Now, this person has lupus, and after using, it is starting to clear up. Now, these are the other conditions people have been using for. Now, this person used it on his tummy, and after 20 days, he found that his tummy has reduced. And this one is a skin condition on the legs. And here you see acne on the face has reduced. Now, this person had an accident, and this was his condition before treatment. And after treatment, he's finding that it's so much better now. And this is for varicose veins. After 1 month, things are slowly getting better. So patience is the key here, right? And it can be used with various inflammations, various pains, various blockages. You can use it to get better, healthier skin, and definitely for beauty, right? These are the other various ailments which you can use for. And people have also asked, can I use it with my clothes on? Yes, definitely.
Now okay, Aga.
But better, better.
Better, huh?
And it's also being used widely in centers in Hong Kong, Taiwan, for general health treatment.
硬位都難。我腎虧，肺腎脾。
肺腎同脾。
你有邊個膊頭你邊有攰呢頭？
條頸攰啊！
膊頭你都攰啫。
幾多次啊？偵測緊。佢腎嗰位。
啊！
但係陳生冇事喎，佢擺一手喺度。佢啲紅嘅，你睇下反緊光嗰啲。
啊！
出啲咩話你哋話？
佢係出幾多手咧？
So if you have your loved ones at home, give them a good treatment, they'll be very happy about it. Right? Now, people have also asked about the benefits of drinking i-Tera charged water. As I said earlier, it breaks the clusters, gives them an energy. All right? So now the water which you drink are all unclustered in linear form, and they're carrying the energy into the body. And what happens is once they're inside your body, they work from inside your body, but they work on the entire body. It kickstarts your system to help you bring you back to good health. Right? So the water is working from the inside, but it's working on the whole body, whereas the device is focusing on areas where you need a speedier recovery. Right? So they complement each other very well. I'll definitely advise you to charge and drink daily in excess of 2 liters a day. Definitely 2 liters and more will be good. And you will start seeing the consequences. Now, what's happening is when people are getting better, they can't keep it to themselves. They're sharing it with their loved ones, they're sharing it with others, with friends. And when they get better, everybody wants to own one. And the person who recommended, who told about what he had done for the health, are finding that it's also helping them with their wealth. All right? So now what actually you're doing is you're helping people with their health, and then it's coming back helping with your wealth. So these people have found that it has become a source of income for them. All right? Now this is how the i-Tera Pro is packed, and around the world, people are actually sharing it with lots of people and finding that it's bringing them a source of income. Right? And these people are more serious. They're planning on a bigger scale. And when you buy this device, you're actually initially buying it for your health. And you're happy with health, stop there. But if you feel that you want to go a little bit more, where it also brings you a source of income, the company provides you a business without any extra cost, but just for the cost of purchasing it for your health. So when you share it with others, there is some income coming back to you. And for that purpose, you need a good product. And this product actually speaks for itself because it works as it says. And the company gives you a good plan where you get to generate your own income. And before you know it, you find that there's money in your back office. And the company leads and grows with you and supports you. And when you buy a product, even if you just buy it for your own health, you're immediately linked to almost everyone around the world. The company gives you a global business. Just me, right? So you can actually link yourself to anybody, anywhere in the world, right? And with iTeraCare, the greatest wealth is health. And when you have good health, definitely you will see wealth coming in because you're definitely going to be sharing it. Okay, with that, I thank you.